Hello and welcome to the show. This is Today in Space. I am your science communicator, Alex G. Orfanos, as always. And it's been a little while since we've had a podcast come out. A lot of things are going on, as I'm sure they're going on in your life. My life has gone from working for myself to entering the engineering world and having a career as an engineer again, which has been amazing, and it's been crazy to think about all of those things in context. And that's a lot of my extra time that I've been spending has really been writing about where I've come over the last 4 years of doing this podcast. And this podcast has been a huge, huge influence on my life. And with 2019, we're entering the 5th year that I've been podcasting and communicating science to the internet, to people out there. So I've been doing a lot of thinking on where I've come, taking the scientific mindset and forging that sword of logic, and doing that for 4 years. I've grown tremendously. I've evolved tremendously as a person, and I want to focus now with my engineering career doing what it's doing, which what I've done, doing this podcast, communicating science, and really thinking about how you're saying and communicating scientific content. Then the 3D printing service with AG3D, where I've been helping customers bring their ideas into reality by 3D printing and designing prototypes so that they can then run with their idea and develop it faster than they've ever been able to do it before. To think that those two things now combine perfectly in my new job is insane. And there's a lot of accomplishment that comes with that during the day, and I'm really grateful for that. And I have this podcast to thank, and all of you out there for giving feedback, for listening, for subscribing, for liking the videos on YouTube, for sharing them. All of that has gone towards my development here, and I appreciate that. And in this next year, with me having to really focus on my time and my efforts to get this show out, it's a new era for me. And what I want to do with this next year in 2019 is focus on what's going on in 2019. What is this year? And I'm really going to focus, at least this year, on what is the show trying to communicate? What kind of content are we going to release to the public that is not just the same old thing? We did try doing a bit of orbital news, news trying to catch the stories as they're coming out so we can catch the wave of people paying attention to space, because unfortunately a lot of the media and people paying attention to space is mostly disasters when bad things go wrong, like the Soyuz ballistic abort that happened. While I was working on that episode, it took so many times for me to redo that episode because new information would come out and we'd have to adjust. There are full organizations of people dedicated to that kind of thing. And it's not that we won't do that here, but I think my time is better spent focusing on talking about what's going on and diving deeper than most of these stories are just giving you info. We're going to dive deeper into that stuff. So that's what our 5th year in 2019 is going to be. So I'm super excited about what's to come in 2019. I know you are, and all I can say is stay tuned. We're going to have a ton to talk about. And if you have any ideas, please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, Today in Space Podcast, on Twitter, Today in Space Pod, or at El Greco, ELGR3CO. Then you've also got me over at todayinspacepodcast@gmail.com. Check out todayinspace.net, the website. You can find everything and search it easily. So if you ever need any scientific content on space, it's there. We've got tons of it. And that's one of the original missions. I was an aerospace engineer when I was in college, and there was very little extra material that you could research. You couldn't Google a lot of this stuff back then. This wasn't like stuff you could just find. That has all come up in the last few years. And part of Today in Space was, all right, well, if there isn't content out there, let's put content out there. So I'm going to keep doing that. We're going to keep bringing that to you. And for 2019, all I can say is it's a fantastic future, and all we're going to do is spread love and spread science. We got a lot coming. I'm not going to spoil it. So I hope you have a great year. Enjoy yourselves. And as always, spread love and spread science. We'll see you then.